It's live, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Putting theme song on.
I've tried 1,000 tries, and maybe other guys. I'll never compromise, and now I realize I've tried 1,000 tries, and maybe other guys.
The
I've tried a
music's
thousand
coming onto
tries. I've
my
tried 1,000 tries.
producer headphone.
1 minute going live.
Welcome, early
Yo, I've
people.
tried 1,000 tries, and maybe other guys. I'll never compromise, and now I realize there may be other guys. I'll never compromise. I've tried 1,000 tries, and now I realize I've tried 1,000 tries, and maybe other guys. I'll never compromise, and now I realize there may be other guys. I'll never compromise. I've tried 1,000 tries, and now I realize. I've tried 1,000 tries, and maybe other guys. I'll never
Hello. Some
compromise,
people
and
in
now I
already.
realize there may be other guys. I'll never compromise. I've tried 1,000 tries, and now I realize I've tried 1,000 tries, and maybe other guys. I'll never compromise, and now I realize there may be other guys. There may be
All right, let's
other
get started.
guys. There may be other guys. I'll never compromise. There may be other guys. There may be other guys. There may be
Hello, hello. How's everybody? Welcome to the episode 7 of The Guys Next Door. I'm Mr. Coops, one of your hosts, and we trust that everybody has a joyful Christmas and a dazzling New Year celebration. As we get cozy together and journey through the aftermath of the holidays, uh, I I I know some of you are still recovering from the New Year celebration, or your vision is still as delightful mix of your leftover lechon or pork roast and apple pie, and you found yourself on an ideal space tonight. So I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. Today we've curated an exciting array of topics. We also have special guests with you guys. They're a family of Tweets DJs, and they have a plethora of delightful surprises in store for you. But before we dive into the surprises, let me introduce you to my exceptional co host, DJ Pat. DJ Pat is my confetti to my chaos, my resolutionist to my realist. Hi, DJ Pat. How are you doing?
Good evening. I don't know what those things you said mean, but I think they're nice. They're beautiful words. I'm doing good. Like I said, recovering also from too much food. As some of you know, I was at the Grace Music and Mr. Coop's crib for the
Yep.
past week. Just got home on Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, and thank you for all the degustations that you
That
offered
was a
us.
lot of food. That was a
That
lot of
was
food.
a
I
lot
would
of
say.
food. You know, the main deal though was the tapas bar, the honey restaurant that you took us. That was amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, today's just the two of us again. Nusuko Type Mo, aka Gus, won't be joining us because he's sick. He has the flu, not COVID. So
He caught something.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm wishing you, Gus, if you're listening, on a swift recovery.
yeah.
So
We need him back. We need him back
yeah,
badly
I can't,
because we need more content. We need more stuff.
and and I missed him too. Well, okay, so let's kick it off. Let's celebrate episode 7 of The Guys Next Door, where talk is cheap and laughs are priceless. So, as always, as we start our first segment called the Neighborhood Watch, we recap what happened on Sunday's NBHD. So, what do you think of last Sunday's NBHD, DJ Pat?
Um, we had a break over Christmas, so it was nice to have that breather over a couple of weeks, and then quickly went back to it. I was surprised you were able to come up with the lineup, despite people being super busy.
It was hard,
And
yeah, but
I
yeah,
noticed too that a lot of the old timers are there, including myself, yours
yes.
truly. Thank you so much for the spot. I had that early slot before we flew back to Michigan.
Yes, it's great to see the NBHD OGs. If some of you don't know where the NBHD OGs are, it's DJ Pat, Sound Decisions, Musoko Type Mo. He was actually sick, but he streamed. And Grace Music. Those are the first three who actually form NBase. So it's great to have them all back. It's been a while. I think it's been a year since all of three of you on what's on NBA Stage 28 Sunday.
It's been a while, but it's great to do it like at the end of the year. And
Right.
guess what? We have actual footage of Nusuko Type Mo's set. Okay, I'm gonna play
I'm
it right
excited
now.
about this. Yeah.
Right? There's 20 people. They'll see what. Just tell us what you think. Here we go.
Dale más duro. Mueve tu culo. Dale más duro.
Oh my.
Mueve tu culo. Dale más duro. Suave más duro.
What the heck is he wearing? What the heck is he wearing? So I hope that our guests on the backstage close their eyes there because that's definitely not for younger people. But
There's more clips that we could not play today. The camera angles, or maybe the flu got into him. He got
yeah.
more sick because of the camera angles. Like
So
he was
i-
streaming with his bare legs.
if you guys don't know Gus, he actually has a butt cam. So if you type in the command exclamation code ibaba, that means the camera like on the floor will shoot up to his behind. But it's fun. Depends on what he's wearing though. He's wearing a tutu that Sunday, just so FYI.
People will pay to get to the
They will.
So he should put that on redemption or something.
Nice. Well, outside of Gus, we have a lot of other good DJs. We have a newcomer of Vernie Gosh, and we have a lot of old timers also there. Like we have Bradley B. We love house music. We love Delight's Playhouse. We Dance as One Andrews there, and also the prime time is actually pretty good. So starting from Solar Live all the way to the closer Virgil Maxino, where we average around 75, I guess, viewers. So that was
And
great. That was a great vibe.
we were hitting three triple digits. So that's for New Year's Eve, where a lot of DJs will play or stream that day. That's not bad.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Well, that's it for NBHD Sunday. Again, if you want to play for NBHD H2H, just hit me up so I can get you on the slot. So, without further ado, I will
Let's get
just
him in.
let them
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the stage. If you can add them in the stage, DJ Pat, I will just introduce our guest tonight.
Go ahead, and I'll
Yeah,
add.
our guests for tonight are fantastic streamers. They are a dad and daughter trio, and they are not your average family, I would say. They're a powerhouse of talent, charisma, proving that age is just a number, especially when it comes to the art of DJing. I mean, seriously, they're so advanced on their age that they have proven that they are better than other streamers out there in the Twitch world. Uh, they're so good, whether it's spinning the latest hits or throwing it back with the classics. They got the DJ chops that will make even the most seasoned mixers nod in approval. Twitch for them is like a family picnic, but more bass drops and fewer ants. So let us welcome from Salem, the Salem Halloween Girls and DJ Big Daddy. Hello, hello, guys. How are you
Hey
doing?
guys,
Hi.
glad to be here. Thanks for having us.
You're in the same house, though, right? Just two different
Yes.
houses.
We are. But
He's sitting
I
up.
think it's a little squishy if we all sit on the same screen.
Mm.
Oh, thank you so much for joining. I know I've been pushing DJ Big Daddy to guest here for a while now, but thank you, and I hope it's not too late for you girls. So
It's only 8:30.
yeah, okay. So just want to know it's not past your bedtime. So if you don't know them, it's Rose and Luna and DJ Big Daddy. They're from Salem. You know them from spinning a lot of really awesome stuff. Hello, hello. So before I start the question, I just want to show something that I saw yesterday, and I need to ask this question. So, if DJ Pat, if you could show this, I don't know what's up with this, but can you show this video?
Yeah,
Hey everybody,
it's,
it is
starting right
January
now, I hope.
1st. It's sitting to be just about freezing here in Salem, Massachusetts. And we are going to share with you our annual tradition, something we've been doing for a decade or more now. And it's kind of fun. This is how us geniuses start the year off.
What is up? I'm freezing my ass off.
So, what the heck? So, first of all, did your dad put you up on that?
No,
That is some
we-
crazy stuff.
we've been doing this since we were first allowed to do this when I think we were like 8. But
We've always wanted to do
yeah,
it.
we've always wanted to do it. He's been doing it since we were like really, really little. It used to be for like an organized event, but it's since disbanded, so now we just kind of do it on our own.
Yeah, polar plunge. First day of the year, you start off by freezing your A off in the water. It's great.
It was
You should try
fantastic.
it. It's fun.
Very refreshing.
Uh,
I
Or
think
try-
I could try it, but Michigan water is frozen over sometimes. Not this year though.
Well, that
Wow.
doesn't matter as long as you can cut a hole in the lake. You're
True.
all set.
True. True.
I know.
I
It's
will
not that bad. It's been a lot colder in previous years. Like I said in that video, it was about 32 degrees air temperature, but we've done it when it was down to 15 or 10 degrees air temperature. It's actually easier then because the water is a lot warmer comparatively. But as the girls were saying, I started doing this, I don't know, probably 15 years ago when it was a charity event and you would either bring food items or make cash donations or both to the Salem Food Pantry, which helps a lot of people in need here in our town. And they kept that going until the pandemic when everything got disbanded, as you know. and the woman who was running it at the time passed during COVID. And so it hasn't been formalized ever since. I hear as of this year, people tried to get something back together. So we're going to try to join up with them next year. But even
That's
during
great.
pandemic, we kept it going ourselves.
That's awesome.
That's
Well,
great to hear. Yeah.
maybe for-
What made you continue to do it? Is it um,
I think it's
awareness?
just
or-
tradition. We
Tradition.
love tradition. You know, we're suckers for tradition. I think a lot of people are like that. And so it's fun and kooky, and that kind of sums up our family, you know, fun and kooky.
So, what was the temperature back yesterday to do that?
So
30s?
water temperature, I think, was 41 or 42 degrees, maybe.
Alright.
Something like that.
Okay, not bad, but I'm still not gonna do it. But maybe for a cause, right? You know, if it's up for
For a
charity, I
cause,
will do it. But yes, I will do it. Well, I need to ask that before we start the question, because that was like I was looking at social media and then I said like, what the heck? I gotta say though, DJ Pat, DJ Big Daddy has some serious stats that I didn't know of on that one.
Yeah, the ink is marvelous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I collect now and again.
yeah, that's sweet. Well, again, you know, thank you for joining us. We have a few questions for you guys. Most likely, you know, about you guys being a family and Twitch. There's not a lot out there that's like son or father son or father daughter, but you guys are a favorite. But we will ask a few questions for you guys. You know how you got into Twitch. I mean, but maybe we can start with that. How did your Twitch journey kick off? I know the girl started first, and there was something that you know did DJ Big Daddy. There was an accomplishment that you need to meet for DJ Big Daddy do it. So, how did you guys really started on Twitch?
I think we have to go chronologically. We were supposed to be doing a gig in person, but you know everything got shut down. So then we had to try to figure out a way to do it online. Facebook wasn't working, Instagram wasn't working,
YouTube wasn't working.
Yeah, YouTube wasn't working. I think that was the first one that we tried.
Yeah.
But eventually, one of DJ Big Daddy's friends was like, "Have you tried Twitch?" And he was like, "No, what is that?" And it was like a week before we were supposed to do it. He got all the equipment and we set it up, and that's our first time recording on Twitch. And then we start streaming after that.
So I guess even before the Twitch thing, you guys already been spinning, right? You've been spinning somewhere on parties, or where you guys started spinning?
We were doing Daughters of Darkness. It's like a market / festival thing. And they wanted music to play in the background for that. It's basically like all women, like gothic arts
Oh,
and shops
nice.
and stuff. So we got asked to do that because, you know, ever since we were little, DJ Big Daddy has been teaching us how to, like, work music and spin. And that's where the pizza sessions came from, but that's a different story. And so we got good enough that, you know, we got recommended and got the gig, and then COVID. So
Well,
guess-
kudos,
Coach happened.
kudos, Big Daddy, for really teaching the ladies at an early age. I know I saw one social media post about, I think that was Rose on dabbling with a controller when you were 5, something like that. But that's great. You know, it's really amazing. You know how you taught them, and not just teaching them just not teaching them the arts, teaching them the right music, right? They're not into the mainstream. They're very old soul. I love it when you guys play. I personally love the yacht rock because I'm a big fan of that, and I love that you guys been playing the old house music, not the mainstream.
Those are my favorite.
Music.
When they play 80s or stuff, yacht rock, those
Yeah.
are my favorite sets.
Uh,
And you know why? Because the age factor. right?
yeah, we're old.
We're old, but
Yeah.
the young people.
It's funny that you guys say that because we're, you know, us gentlemen here are probably around the same age. And like you guys, I remember seeing these bands in the 80s and watching MTV growing up and listening to the radio and making a tape off the radio of all your favorite
Nice.
songs. And when it comes to that music, it's still part of me, right? So we'll listen to music in the car, we'll listen to it on a streaming platform or whatever. And so the girls started listening to that. And I'm like, oh, you don't know how easy it is.
Yeah.
We had to wait for hours to hear that one song
Oh yeah.
that we wanted to hear. But I think that there's something in that, because in that hour span that we were waiting to hear that song, we heard 40 other tracks, right?
Correct.
And so we've learned all those things. And with the younger generation now, they go directly to what they want to hear, they listen to what they want to hear, and they move on.
Yeah. The
And,
attention
and
span. Yeah.
yeah, so I've been trying to educate the girls ever since they were little that it's not just about that one song, it's about the periphery.
Yep. That's
Excellent,
great.
yeah.
I got a question here from the chatters to the girls. From Achi Glip, what are your influences musically?
Oh, do you want to start first?
Oh,
Not to
okay.
put you on the spotlight, but
I mean, musically, I mean, it's just like I've always grown up around music, right? I have always been listening to the radio. I've always been listening to people's like maybe sets, whether it's on YouTube or now on Twitch. And I guess like the entire like idea of just like music is something that's really wonderful, and being able to, I was talking to DJ Big Daddy about this the other day, being able to provide like music to people and how it provides such joy to people, and it shows like, you know, you're a creator of something that's really beautiful. And I guess that's what really influences me to play all the music I play, whether it's like melodic house or it's an 80s set or if it's disco house or EDM. It's just something beautiful that I really love to play, that makes me happy, that makes other people happy. And I just think that that's really what it is.
for me, I like to create something new with things that already exist. Not in a way of creating new tracks. That's not really my style. I'm not really good at that. That's more DJ Luna's thing. But putting things together in a way that you wouldn't usually expect them to be put together, or things that work really well. And I can share things that already exist, but I can also create a new thing because each set is really different. So you kind of just get to put something out there that you really speak with and that you think other people would like. And it's a really good feeling.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know that you guys stream together, but I noticed that there are genres that you guys both like, but there's also other genres that I know that Luna likes versus Rose. How do you guys figure out how you do those back to backs? I mean, do you talk about that? We're gonna do melodic house first before we go to new wave. How do you guys, do that dynamic?
So on our non back to back to back, like song for song, we usually talk out like, oh, we can do a block of jazzy house and a block of French house and a block of funky house, and we kind of space
Right.
out. We choose some things to play in, but for our back to back song for song, we don't discuss it at all. It's a challenge to know what music we have in our arsenal, how to put it together, how to choose quickly. Like if you run out of music in a set, this is how you're gonna find another track. And it's a little bit of a challenge to kind of mix and match things, especially when we're starting to hop genres. That's
Right.
when it makes it really fun, especially if it's a genre that I know I'm familiar with, but maybe she's not, so she can play in that and vice versa.
Might I also add, there have been some days where we just completely clash. Like, I think it was the other day, I was like sitting firmly in like disco and yacht rock, and DJ Rose is like, nope, we're going right back to disco right now. And I'm like, okay. And that's also sometimes why we do solo Sundays or solo sets, so that we can play what we want without like, playing, having to coordinate with the other one.
So Big Daddy, obviously you're behind when this is happening, right? When that kind of chaos happen, how do you handle it? Could you tell us the trick?
I want to crack their little heads together like coconuts. That's like any parent does when their kids are
Right.
squabbling. It is the bickering kills me. And I tell them that all the time. If you guys out there have kids, you know what I'm talking about, right? It does not change because these guys are streamers and try to act professionally and do their best. And so it's frustrating. Um, but at the same time, when they're working together, it is amazing to see. And when I see them like pushing each other, challenging, making a suggestion, going, "Oh yeah, you can add this to it, you can add that to it,"
That's awesome.
or Rose is sitting there going, "I got 3 decks going. I'm gonna grab another deck and put this song in there," and I'm going like, "How come I can't do that? What? You know?" To see that level of cooperation and them working together really is fantastic. And being happy that I've kind of helped them and chorused them a little bit. I take those little moments of pride. Of course, when they screw up or anything, that's my wife's fault.
There you go. Well, it's always my fault on Grace's music. So just to let you know, I feel you. But for as far as influence, right? From the ladies, which one is closest to your style?
That's interesting. As a kid, I grew up and I was, punk rock, goth kid. I went through a big metal phase and
God.
stuff like that. And so I'm seeing DJ Luna really pick up that music. She's DJ'd quite a few goth nights and stuff like that. But I'm also quite passionate about disco and house, 90s house. That's the stuff that was playing in nightclubs when I first started going out, and dance clubs and stuff. And I see Rose, gravitating towards that kind of music. So it's kind of split down the middle.
All right. So it's
Ah,
a mix. It's a
fascinating.
hybrid. That's
That's
awesome.
the hybrid part of it. Best of both worlds.
Well, you can split out a night and go to 2 clubs, right? You'll drop Luna, go with Luna first, and then drop her, and then go to Rose. That's awesome. Well,
And we
DJ
all
Pat,
love yacht rock. I mean,
yeah.
everybody in our family loves yacht rock.
Oh, I
We'll
love that.
listen to the yacht rock channel on the satellite radio in the car, and we're just belting it out. We're just singing at the top
Yeah,
of our lungs. And we've been doing
that's
that since they were little kids.
perfect
I've been,
driving music, really.
yeah,
It
I've
is.
been,
Is. Yeah.
I've been very vocal about it when I think Luna's doing the yacht rock. I love it. So I can listen to it. I know I'm a mod. I'm probably the worst mod that you guys have. I'll be honest, but yeah, but I'm trying. I'm trying to get there. But it's
The
really good.
story of you becoming a mod for their channel
Uh,
is fantastic.
Let us
well,
know.
uh,
Yes. I'll
can
do
all right. So you guys could tell the story.
We want to know from
Okay.
them, their side.
So I remember, I think we were doing some stream. I'm very bad with like memories, but
I'm even worse. So
we were doing a stream, right? And you, Mr. Coops, got into your channel, and we were just chatting and hanging out, and then you asked to be a mod, right? And so we were like,
Live
okay,
audition.
what do we do? And so we started interviewing Mr. Coops, and then like after a few minutes and a few questions, we knighted him with the green sword. And
That's
so
I
uh,
remember that. Yeah, because I think it was Sound Decisions who actually told me about you guys. So check out these teenagers. Like, oh, really? Teenagers? Okay, I
I
have to go.
remember.
And then
Yeah.
and I checked you guys, and I don't know what you guys playing, but it was awesome. I think Grace was there too, so she also asked me to jump. And I see I already want a month for you guys. Can I audition live? And I start doing shout outs, commands, trying to figure it out. And yes, I got the sword after that. Well, thank you for trusting me with that green sword. I know I have not been very active on a lot of your streams, been busy at work, but I try to be there as much as possible. But also, DJ Pat, do you know that I met the ladies and DJ Big Dad in person with Grace?
Yes, I you showed us some pictures, and
Yeah,
I you
yeah,
said it was great to meet them. Actually, if you're modding for somebody, it would be nice to meet them in person. Really.
yeah. I think they were visiting Philly, and we have to meet them. I told Grace, or Grace told me we have to meet them, and we did a quick brunch, and I'm glad I met them. They're really nice people, great family, and even though we don't chat a lot, we hit up each other on Whisper. The DJ Big Daddy and I've been changing. We're both tech heads, so we've been exchanging stuff about technical things that you can do on your Twitch. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's one of the favorite things about Twitch for myself and probably the girls as well, is the people that you meet and building those relationships, and then the opportunity to see them when you go somewhere. Because if you're a native of a city, you have an insight that other people do not have.
Oh.
And so spending time together and talking about music and talking about tech and talking about family and stuff is great. But it's those little intangibles. It's like, oh, why don't you go over to this restaurant, because I know you'll love it. Now that I know you as a person a little bit, you
Yeah.
want to try this out and that, not that. And then you have like a recommendation you can rely on. And in fact, just this past weekend, DJ Dav, who many of you know, came to Salem. And so we played tour guide with Dav, and we walked around and showed
That's
him
awesome.
this, and brought him to lunch, and his mod Vesna was with us as well. And I mean, those are those relationships that you don't get unless you're in here and you're playing in the sandbox and you're talking to other people and you're investing your time, and it pays those dividends.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's really, at least on the NBH, we met a lot of people, not only in North America, but also other countries. And the next thing you know, when they know that you're going there, you could hit them up, say, hey, I'm visiting. Can we meet? And we had a lot of those. I know we met a few people in New York. We still want to go to Salem. We're just finding the right month to do it. But I'm hoping this year we can go there together.
You don't want to come in October?
Well, I've been meaning to do October, but you guys said October is the worst time.
Well,
It's the
still worth
busiest time.
busy.
What's that?
It's fun.
Yeah. But yeah. But I think Grace is afraid of people, so she wants to do it when it's nice weather, and also there's not a lot of people. So I think we're gonna visit you soon, this 2024. I'm pretty sure about that.
Looking forward to it.
So, having being a family on Twitch have its advantage and disadvantage, right? Can you share some challenges you faced as a family streaming on Twitch, if there's any? And can you share any crazy stories that that happened during that time?
I'll kick it off and then I'll throw it to the girls. How's that?
Yeah, sure.
I think one of our premier challenges is that we share a DJ booth. Now, if you look at our streams, they don't look alike because I use a green screen. The girls have a wall and more of room aesthetic, but we share the same mixing board, turntables, camera gear, and so that means typically we can only stream. We can't stream at the same time. And we set things up differently for each stream. And, so we both have to know the equipment, but have to know the differences between that equipment for our own stream purposes.
I gotta say this. Sorry to cut you off. You actually pulled off one feat on one NBHC Ray Train where you guys actually did back to back. So how did you do that? I've been wondering, how did you pull that off? Because I know we were texting or messaging like, I'm gonna try to do something. I think I figured it out, and then you did figure it out. So how did you pull that off?
So DJ Luna was not a part of this. It was me and my father.
I was doing Drama Fest.
Yeah, she was doing theater, so she was busy. So I don't even know the technical thing behind it, but it was so nerve-wracking. He was like yelling at me, and I was like, what did I do wrong? But yeah, so it was really stressful, and then we pulled it off and it worked very well.
It
And
it was quite stressful. What we ended up doing is we ran all the stream. So the girls streamed first, and did an hour on the raid train, and then I came in secondly and did an hour. So we set up the computer. We had to use two computers.
Yeah, okay.
We have a streaming computer. We have a Mac Mini that we stream off of. And what I did is all the cameras go in, and the mic and the board goes into the Mac Mini, and that goes
Okay.
right out to OBS. So what I did is I took HDMI out and plugged it into
Oh,
laptop, and then so they did their entire stream on the Mac Mini, and then we threw a we threw a graphic up as we switched the background
transition,
scenes, changed, put the green screen up, and I plugged in the HDMI into a laptop, and then OBS was running on the laptop, and I streamed from there. So it was actually, my stream was actually running through a second computer before it hit my
with the
OBS.
raid. All
Yeah.
right.
But we pulled it off.
You did, like, so that was amazing. So to all that's listening, that's a trick if you want to do back to back two computers, to send it. So that's great, because I was amazing when I was actually waiting for the stream. How are you gonna do it? And then all right, it's very smooth, very good.
Yeah, I think if we were to do something like that today, one of the options that Twitch has is you can be a collaborator on somebody else's channel. So we'd probably just start both channels up and switch that way.
Is that the
But
one that-
yeah, it was not easy. We did that a year ago or so. Yeah.
well, I think they have a feature right now called Stream Together, right? So I think you could kind of do it. That's great. So outside of the technical challenges that Big Daddy mentioned, how about you girls? Any challenges that you think streaming as a family, or any stories about, what stands out from all your streaming days?
Sometimes we butt heads, like
Because we're all butt heads. Sorry.
You
Continue.
had to make that joke.
We
Okay.
we have an audio for that, but I couldn't get to it right now.
Okay. Continue.
But I think the only difficult part is just when we were taking a break for a while when school started back up. It was really, we could not agree on our new schedule.
Okay.
So yeah, because whatever we say, whatever, if you ask between A and B, I will say A, she will say B. It is always that way. It is a rare occasion when we choose the same one.
And the
So-
option that we choose, the parents don't like.
Exactly.
Always happen. That's a given. Well, I think the dynamic between the two of you you're similar but really different, right? And I think that's what works. So if your audience see that they're teenagers, two girls streaming both different personalities, that's what makes it click. I think that's what's doing great for you guys. Now we talk about these challenges, right? How about fun moments? What's the most memorable fun moment that you guys top one can remember while streaming on Twitch?
For me, you can go after.
Yeah.
But in the summertime when we stream from the lake, if it was a solo, sometimes the other one would jump in for a couple songs, then we just go immediately jump into a lake, like stuff like that. How you can just see us in the background on the dock or like jumping into the water. Like that's really fun because then I can like come up and I can just be a little guest star and then I can leave. It's really fun because we're outdoors. It's nice and warm, perfect temperature, and it's just a it's just super summery fun.
Right. I think that some of my favorite moments on stream are when like we're just going along doing our own thing, and then all of a sudden we get like a big fat raid or a big fat support or
Something
a big fat gift pack,
unexpected.
something very unexpected that we like never even fathom, and we're just sitting there in utter shock, like, oh my god,
Oh.
what just happened? And
Any
then,
big raids that you remember
Um,
recently?
Was it Animal Stop It?
Oh, I remember the day that we got 2,000 followers and we forced DJ Big Daddy to
1,000.
start streaming. 1,000, I think. I don't remember what I said. Wow.
Yeah.
1,000 followers. I was doing a solo Sunday, and then I got a big raid from like Annabelle Stop It or something. And
Really?
yeah,
Big.
it was
Wow.
crazy. I don't even know. I was just like, yep, okay. I'm going to keep streaming until I reach 1,000 followers because we were like 980 something.
So she's really understating herself. She was streaming for 5 hours in the middle of a Sunday morning, all by herself. And she like, you know what? Let's go until we get 1,000. And like, she was going for 5 hours. That's the longest she had streamed ever at that time. So she's really understating. This was like a big moment.
And so, you know, I was playing new wave and 80s music, so people were just enjoying themselves, having a fun time, enjoying the vibe. I got a big raid. I was like, what the heck? And so I keep playing, and people are just following like crazy. I'm trying to shout them all out. I don't know. I think I got like another raid that day. I don't
You get a
remember.
raid from Foregard as well.
Oh,
Oh, that's another good one. That's
Mm.
awesome. Those are
And
big raids, right? For
yeah, and
partners.
I was like overwhelmed, but I was still like,
Did you
okay,
cry?
I'm playing. And then DJ Rosé jumped in when we got like 2,000 followers, and I remember throughout the stream I kept saying, okay, once we reach 1,000 followers, we've convinced our dad to start streaming.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you cry on those big raids? Because I know Grace cried once when she got raided by TK Tony. So that's it's amazing. I know. Yeah, she said the feeling what you guys just said is the feeling of getting those big raids is totally different as a streamer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we're
might
kind
cry.
of the
too.
silent shock kind of people. We're just kind of
Yeah.
like, what do we do? What am I
I'm
supposed to
just
do?
like sitting there, like everything is stuck in my brain. I'm just like, oh my god, what the heck just happened? How do I keep up this vibe so that people stay? How do I shout at all these people? How do I mix? Because I've just been standing here for a minute, like going, like, what?
Wow. I would say that's amazing. Having this, so just Big Daddy, I have a question. Twitch is still social media. It's still the internet, right? As a parent, having your girls being out there, how do you do it? Because I know it's going to be hard because a lot of parents are listening right now. It's really tough to expose your kids in the internet, and especially Twitch as a platform, because you're going to get chatters that are out there that's just going to be doing what they want. How do you do
Right.
it?
Yeah, so that's a great question. You know, we're luckily I am into tech, as you know, and my wife and I have a background in advertising, and so we're on social media. We've worked with the platforms. We understand the pitfalls. The girls are not allowed to use social media. I know they have an Instagram account, and sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, hey, can we post this?" And usually it's myself managing it for them. We're fortunate because they're smart about security. No last names, no address. The only thing you know is Salem, right? That's it. You don't know where we live. They will post where they're doing live gigs because, that's part of the game, but they don't go to a live gig without security. And they're teenagers, right?
Yeah,
They have
exactly.
a
Yeah.
security escort when they go to gigs. So this is how it is. We rely heavily on the mods of the channel. And it's a kind of a one strike and you're out. They're of the age where nobody can say anything inappropriate. When you're a little bit older, you can get away. If you're, an older streamer, someone could, make offhanded remarks and whatever, but that does not fly in their channel.
Can
And we've only had to bounce one or two people out, honestly, in the 2 years they've been streaming. So it's not that bad. It's a good community. But like I said, one strike, you're out. And
you-
I mean,
We
that's
need-
how
yeah.
it would be if we were in a live venue. So that's how it is when we're on Twitch.
I guess
Yeah.
we need. I need a private chat with you, DJ Big Daddy. I have kids too. I got a 16-year-old who's a content creator too. It's but not a DJ. He's more into photography, and in sports photography at that. So the exposure is quite large, and trying to be safe and secure, I guess, is very important. Shout out to my son Seb Desflix. You can follow him. He's trying to get to 500. Seb Desflix on Instagram, but we need to. Yeah, I'll shoot you a message about the stuff you do to keep everyone safe.
and just the moderation, right? Alone, right? I mean, moderating on Twitch channel is hard already, but you moderating the whole thing in real life, that's tough. And kudos to you for doing a great job on protecting the ladies. And whatever you're doing, congrats.
To me, it's a great dynamic that their father is right there with them. I get through every step, and that helps them be safe, I guess.
Their mom's right there too. She's just not in
You're
front
right.
of the
You're
camera.
right. Forgot to
You know?
mention the mom. Yeah, great
So
job.
I'm
Yeah, shout out to mom. She's behind the camera. We love you, mom.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
She is
gonna
like-
ask, how does mom play on all of this? Is she on Twitch a lot, or she's just behind the scene?
And she has an account. We're not going to tell you her account name, unless she wants to do that. But she's always there. She watches us. Even if she's like doing stuff, she is always lurking, listening to us. Sometimes she'll text us like, "Oh, your volume, yada yada. You need to adjust this, adjust that." She's always there, and we love her for that. But yeah, so she's a really big support, and she helps us with our social media, and she's always there for our streams.
Yeah, she's amazing. I met her too. Hi, mom.
She's definitely
So, behind the scenes, I know that just based on experience, before you go live, there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes, setting up. Can you tell me how that dynamic works? I'll start first with Big Daddy because I know we're kind of the same boat before streaming. What do you need? What's the preparation that you do? And for a lot of people that that does this and help out either their daughters or their wives, there's a lot of work. So what's your preparation look like, DJ Big Daddy?
So I'm a big fan of automation. And so what I've tried to do, we use a Stream Deck.
Yep.
And while it's not 100% reliable, what I've tried to do is hook up everything in the DJ booth so you can press one button on the Stream Deck and the monitors go on, the lights go on, the camera goes on, the board lights up, everything is ready to go. And then I wrote in the past, I wrote a checklist about, okay, once this is on, update your stream title, update this, your music is plugged in. The music is good to go. The board that we have can take either USB, and there's always 3 or 4 USBs right near the board, or it can be plugged into a laptop. And there's a place for the laptop right there. That's where it lives pretty much 24/7, unless someone's making music and has moved it. But it has a place for everything and everything in its place. So I try to make sure that things are as easy as possible so that the go live process is simple. Would I like everybody to start 15 minutes earlier and get everything smooth and test everything? Sure. I guarantee you every person who's on Twitch wants that. Now, how realistic is that? Not very. Right?
I'm laughing because you make it sound smooth, but you know that we both know that's not how smooth it is, right? Because there's the dynamic there. Somebody shouting at you. Not I'm saying Grace is shouting at me, but
Things
sometimes
happen. Yeah.
things happening. It's great. Also, you mentioned you spoken like a true tech guy. Go live. That's like a project, releasing. So that's great. But girls, so is it really that smooth?
No. No.
I got it.
When I do it by myself, it is, but
Okay. I'm gonna just average stream that we do together, right? Get home from school, or maybe Sunday, for example.
Yeah.
We have to wake up, right? And we go through about our day, and then okay, it's an hour before the stream goes live. We go upstairs. We try and turn on everything. We're usually being a-holes to each other because sometimes it's like either feels like a chore
we're
or
siblings.
I have other things to do, or I don't want to stream today because I'm tired, or just anything, any possible excuse we can make not to stream. And then once we turn on everything and adjust everything, because sometimes like, oh, I have to change the camera to make it zoomed in, or oh, I have to get rid of the green screen because Dad streamed last.
And 9 times out of 10, something goes wrong and we have to fix it.
Yep.
Oh,
And then like, okay,
It's user error.
yes.
Every single time it's user error.
Every single time. And sometimes we'll just be calling up DJ Big Daddy like, help, help, help. And he's just like, have you tried turning it off and back on again? We're like, oh my God, we turned it back off and on again and it works.
so you let them fix it? That's great. So they do their own troubleshooting?
They've got to. They got to at least try.
Okay.
Right? Because there's a time when I'm not around. I mean, I'm not planning on dying anytime soon, but
So-
I might be busy.
Did they stream without you?
Oh yeah. Oh, Rose, why don't you tell everybody about
Yeah.
streaming without me?
More stories we like.
So I think it was December 30th. I streamed at 1 a.m. from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. because
Whoa.
I was bored. And it was a great set. It was actually the morning before I was supposed to do another set with DJ Luna. And so DJ Big Daddy, he gets our stream summaries, and both my mother and DJ Big Daddy get the go live notifications. So they woke up and it's like, why were the Sam Hellwingers live last night? And then DJ Big Daddy is looking through his mail list and he's like, there's a stream summary. And so they watch my stream before I even wake up. And I wake up, come downstairs, like nothing even happened. And I was
Wow.
like, they were like, you already streamed? I'm like, I already streamed today again. And they're like, we know. And I'm like, you know?
She got her reps in, so she got hours in.
And it was a fantastic set too. I watched the VOD and I'm just like, you got up at like 2 a.m. and started
I was
spinning. First of all, I was amazed I didn't hear it because I usually hear everything.
Yeah.
But secondly, I was pretty proud of her. She crushed it.
That's great. I mean,
Good
just
job.
troubleshooting alone. Grace, we should start doing that. You can troubleshoot without me or stream without me. Now, I'm gonna get an earful later on.
Let us know. We should live stream the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You don't want to see that.
Camera.
Mockumentary.
Exactly. I see that you guys are having fun. Yeah, both on your just your channel, the Salem girls channel, and your Big Daddy. How do you kind of I will say manage the hours, right? I know you said you try to control, you try to balance between school and streaming, and I believe you're giving them certain hours to do it per week or per month. How do you impose that? How do they do that type of schedule?
So basically, I guess I forgot what I was gonna say.
Love
Hold
that.
on. We usually like try to be like, okay, 2 hours at least today, and that's perfectly fine. If we don't make it past 2, that's cool. But I streamed for 5 hours on like last Thursday, so I mean, it really depends. when we're in school, it's different than like summertime, right? Because you're spending 7 to 3, or in my case, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. some nights, doing schoolwork and extracurriculars. And so you really have to try and juggle all that, which is why we stream on like a weekend day, later in the morning when we have time to sleep, because that's important.
Yeah, like for me,
Yep.
my homework really fluctuates in amount. So it can be like every single class, and I have 7 classes, or like 1 or 2 classes, and it's like you just read this chapter and do these math problems. It can be really easy, or it can be just a lot of work. So it really depends, which is why we don't usually do a weekday unless we're not in school.
Well,
That's
today's a weekday. Thank you for, guesting on our show. That's great. I know it's hard because I have a teenager also. Both of you are in high school now, right?
No.
Or
Yeah.
Luna is still in middle school. So I know how hard it is just to do the school, like between sports and academics. Now you put in a streaming schedule there also. That could be hard. DJ Big Daddy, do they want to stream more or want to stream less based on the schedule you set to them? How's that?
Right. So in the past, I guess a year and a half ago, they switched schools.
Okay.
And the schools that they're in now, so they're in different schools, first of all. And so that's a challenge in and of itself, because now you have 2 different drop-off times, 2 different pickup times. So one can be getting home at 2, 3, like Rose said, and then sometimes Lou doesn't get home until 10 o'clock at night because of the after school activities, sports and band and play and all those things that you do when you're a kid. So the previous schedule was kind of easy because their old school didn't have extracurriculars. So it was really simple. It's like, okay, well, you get a Tuesday after school, you get a Friday night, you get a Sunday, easy. And so for years, they were doing 3 streams a week. But now that they're being challenged more and each of them have different, extracurriculars that they're doing, what we've found is the only thing that we can guarantee is that they'll be here on the weekend. And so they do a Sunday because they've always done Sundays and they really like having that Sunday slot. Also get them on the HTH. So that's always fun. And then on occasion, they'll do other sets over the summertime. They change their schedules too. So if you have been watching the Halloween Girls this summer, you will know that DJ Luna started a Wednesday feature that was her brainchild. I'll let her talk about that. But so they're kind of on like the 6 month on, 6 month off, where they're kind of not doing a whole heck of a lot as scheduled shows for 6 months, and then during the summer they can really extend the hours that they do and extend the days and stuff like that.
So I know that during their 1,000 follower milestone, is that a bet, or you really plan to stream also? Was that, how does that come up?
I had no intention of streaming
Okay.
at all. I thought it was fun because I had been teaching the girls how to DJ since a very young age. And every once in a while I'd jump on with them and they're just like, oh, Dad, I'm just like, okay, well, I think it's fun being in front of the camera and spinning some songs once in a while. And so they challenged me. And my thought was, yeah, great, I'll stream. I'll just do one big stream and whatever. But I did it. And people are just like, oh, hey, would you mind doing that again? And, I do some weird streams as far as music goes. I'm not very conventional. And so I started doing this once a month thing, this retro music.
Yeah.
A big band. So like Ella Fitzgerald, Duke Ellington, Frank Sinatra, that kind of stuff. And I'm like, this is something I want to do. Like, I really have a passion for it. I want to do this at least once a month. And then I'm like, well, I also like disco. Oh, I also like this. I like that. I like all these other things. And so before you know it, I'm streaming as well.
So, girl, so before DJ Big Daddy, is it more fun now or challenging that DJ Big Daddy is streaming versus before that it's just the two of you?
I think it's a lot more fun because I'll be seeing him on, like, I don't know, whatever. And he's like, okay, I'm streaming tonight. I'm like, okay. And then I'll just tune in. I won't be chatting. I'll be probably either doing homework or just doing, who knows what. I don't know. Depends. And he'll just be playing great tunes, and it's just like really nice because we both love like jazzy house and deep house and melodic, and it's something that DJ Jose isn't as keen to, I'd say, to be honest.
Yeah,
So
not my
whenever
thing.
I hear a song that he plays and it's like one of them that I really love, I'm just like, yeah, woohoo! And we share crates too, as well as like sharing a booth. We share everything. So he'll just be like, okay, any recommendations for me today? And I'll like talk to him, and I'll hear a song that we were talking about from earlier, or he'll talk about something that I told him about from the earlier in the day, and it's just like really nice. I think it's really fun.
And DJ Big Daddy mentioned that you have your own project. Have you guys thought? Before you answer that, what that project is, have you guys thought about having some sort of separate show, like it's still under the banner of Salem Halloween Girls? But have you guys thought about that?
I mean, that reminds me of like solo Sundays that we used to do, where we'd switch off each week. One of us would do a genre, like maybe it'd be soul with DJ Rose, or I don't know, maybe like new wave with me, and
Yep.
we just go back and forth, and it'd be like our own separate stream. We did a couple of those during vacation. I did a 5-hour stream to test out my new record player. DJ Rose streamed at like 1 a.m. to do whatever she's doing. I was asleep. And so I think that would be very fun to do. Just like, that's also kind of what I did with Wednesday, my dudes. Is like my own project that like I was really happy about, and it was just like all me. And I think that DJ Rose would have an awesome show, like if she wanted to do it.
Have you thought about doing like Rose and DJ Big Daddy and Luna and DJ Big Daddy show? Sort of an idea of, you can do it on either channel. Have you guys thought about that?
Not really, but now that you mention it, I think that would be like really fun and something that would be totally worthwhile. And I'm gonna talk to DJ Big Daddy about that after.
Come on, Dad. Let's go have some fun.
There you go. There you go, Big Daddy. That's an idea.
There you
Something
go.
I think they will love.
Every once in a while, on my stream, you might see the girls pop in, especially if Luna has a late day at school and I'm streaming, it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. She'll jump in, she'll say hello to people and, chat. But I think that would be kind of fun. Maybe doing a back-to-back every once in a while or something. That'd be cool.
Yeah, they will spin something through your curveball and then mix it in. So you see, that's an idea.
Yeah.
Because I remember one NBHD H2H that all three of you was actually spinning. So I love that. I can't remember what it was. I'm not sure if it's the fundraiser or something, but it was one of those NBHD that all three of you are in on the Salem Halloween Girls channel, and you are all spinning. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was fun. It makes for a cramped DJ booth, as I'm sure some of you guys know, but it was fun.
That also reminds me of some of the streams that we've done in the summer, where it would be like initially like maybe DJ Big Daddy stream, but all of us are up in Maine, so DJ is starting to get a fire started, and I'm like, you know what? I'll jump in for a couple tracks, and then
That's awesome.
DJ Rose will finish, and she'll be like, okay, can I have a turn? And I'm like, okay, sure. And we just go back and forth, and we bounce around between all three of us, and that's just like really fun, because that's what we do, like maybe outside of Twitch. Sometimes like we'll be like, okay, do you want to practice DJing, or maybe not practice DJing, but practice choosing different songs?
Just like goof off. Like
Yeah.
one time I
Yes.
mixed a house instrumental track and I mixed in the Macarena. Like it was like an instrumental track, and I mixed in the Macarena, and DJ Big Daddy was there. You you remember
like,
that?
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
good. It just started playing. He was like,
And
I
then,
love that. That's what I do sometimes.
yeah.
Do the
Just,
Macarena?
Yes, no, not that.
That's what I do too, but I just do the Macarena.
Put in some, vocals over something else.
Yeah.
I want to pivot and talk about DJ Big Daddy. You just put up a track recently.
Yeah.
You
So
want to talk about that?
sure. Last year, this time last year, I had a New Year's resolution. And I'm not one of those like I'm going to the gym every day, guys, and then in February stop going to the gym. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. And so my resolution was to make one new track every month,
Wow.
because my thought is if I understand the process of creating music better and I'm making music, then I can listen to music better. For those people who are active DJs and musicians, there's a difference between listening to music, like really actively listening to music, and hearing music, right? Everybody hears music, but it's when you start understanding what is happening in this piece. How many different instruments am I hearing? What kind of tonality is going on? What is the compressor doing? What's the equalizer doing? And I figured to improve my DJ skills, I need to learn to make music. I mean, I've been DJing for years. Like I don't even want to tell you how many years, but a long, long time. So how do I get better? And my thought was, let's get better by making music. And so I just, at the end of the month, I've been putting out a track, and it's on SoundCloud. You guys can go find it. I promoted on my Instagram, and the latest track I did was kind of funny because Luna and I like to watch old movies and old TV shows. And one of the TV shows that we were watching for a while is the old 80s show, Remington Steele. Yes,
Oh.
Remington Steele.
Wow.
And
Now I know why the title.
Yeah.
right. And
Yeah.
so it has a theme song by Henry Mancini, and that was just stuck in our head. And so Lou and I said, let's make a disco house track out of this. And so I tried, and it was horrible. I'm not gonna lie, it sucked. So I'm like, oh, as we were playing around with it, I kind of used a little bit of their melody and did some fun stuff. I said, this chunk is really usable. Like, this is good right here. So we threw away everything and started with like a little riff, and then
Awesome.
built out in probably, I don't know, like a day or two, built out the rest of that track. And I was like, at the end of the month, I took a day off or two for Christmas, and I'm like, I'm going to work on it for one day, get it right to where I want it, and then push it out by the end of the year. And that's what we did. And it's a fun little track, deep house, jazzy house stuff, which is, like Lucille was saying, that's kind of what I'm attracted to. I've got a background in jazz, and so putting that together was just natural for me.
Yeah,
That's-
for the audience, we'll try to play that track at the end of the episode. So watch
Yeah.
out or stay tuned for that.
That's amazing. Remington Steele, that's Pierce Brosnan, right? Pierce Brosnan
It
will be
is, yep.
proud. Yeah. See, my age is just coming out. Well, another question I want to ask you. Obviously, you're already close with your girls. I mean, did this whole Twitch gig made you guys more closer than before?
I mean, I think two things, right? There's definitely it's another layer of that interpersonal relationship, that child parent relationship that can have friction to it,
Yeah.
right? I think about things from a manager standpoint, from a business standpoint, this is the time. I'm very punctual. I'm wicked punctual. You guys know that about me. If you're on at 8, you're on exactly at 8. You're on at 7:59 or you're late, kind of thing, right? Because that's how I am with the meeting. If someone doesn't show up at 8:01 for a meeting, that meeting starts. Forget it. You're gone, right? And that's kind of the mentality that I expect, because that's what I expect from my teams at work. And it's tough to ask that of teenage ladies, but I do anyway. And so they're just like, like they were saying, that time before you go live, there's always screaming. Well, not always, but there's a lot of times screaming and yelling at our house. You got to get upstairs. What do you mean you didn't eat? What are you going to do? You're not dressed yet. All that kind of stuff,
DJ Pat, I'm glad we started early today because we were actually late.
I'm glad they're not waiting for us on the backstage.
Yeah.
And how about you, ladies? This bond, right? Did this strengthen? Does it strengthen more with now because of Twitch?
I mean, like, I guess maybe just like strengthening through music in general, because we've always like growing up, music is a part of like my life. It's a part of DJ Jose's life. It's a part of DJ Big Daddy's life. We all connect over our love for music and sharing it with the world. And I think that's just, that's another layer. It's like, oh, we all have this one special interest in, sharing like music and sharing joy with others, and something just like, it's like really fun. We've always shared music with each other. It's just, and Twitch definitely strengthened that, because it'll be like, okay, what are you going to spin today? Oh, I'm going to spin Jazzy House. Okay, can you play this song for me? Or, oh, I'm going to spin Disco House. Ooh, how about you mix in some soulful? Or just like anything, just like giving and taking and suggesting things and taking advice. It's just really something that's sweet to me.
For me, it's gotten to the point where I'm like, say this song for me. Don't play this. I want to play this. Let me play this. And then she'll play it, or she doesn't, and I finally get to play it, and it's very nice.
That's awesome, because it's really refreshing to see this, right? A lot of Twitch families popping up on Twitch, and it just becomes your daily routine, right? You feel like from once you get to that mode, you're always looking, for that. I will say, what's the right word, DJ? But I'm looking for that high of streaming together, because the whole family is kind of doing it. And with that, do you guys have any advice for who's listening right now, or who's going to be listening, for families who want to start their Twitch journey as a family on Twitch? Do you have any advice?
Yeah. So, just go for it. Just whatever you're thinking about. I'm like, what about this? What about this? Just go for it. Just do it. It'll be fine. No, if nobody's gonna judge you if it turns out badly. It's gonna be like, oh well, just go for it. Like, just go out there. Dip your toes in the pool. Just go out there.
You're going to make mistakes. You are going to have a stream and you're going to be like, oh my God, but why am I doing this? That completely sucked. But the thing is, it's just like you're a family, right? So they're obviously going to like cheer you up when you do something that's like a mistake. Or they're going to reassure you that, okay, let's see how we can do this and make it better for next time. Or if you have a stream that's like really awesome, they're supporting you all the way. Like just that connection that you have with your family, and how you can use that to make yourself feel better and just like get more confident in your mixing. Like without DJ Big Daddy, we would not be streaming, mainly because we don't know how to set up the tech. But also, if it was like a day where we had a completely empty room and it was just like exhausted by the end of it, done, you'd be like, okay, we do this thing in our house called Praise, Correct, Praise. Praise, you did this right. Maybe you need to work on this for next time. And then but you did a great job doing this, and it just like really boosted our spirits. And then we would correct our stream for next time, and you're always getting better because of the advice of the other people in your household.
But the thing is, nobody notices your mistakes. That's great and all, but like nobody actually really notices your mistakes. So just go out there, do it. If they do notice your mistake, nobody cares. If they don't notice your mistake, even better. Just go on, act like nothing happened, because
There
really,
you go.
did anything happen?
No, what happened?
Exactly.
Yeah, well, you heard it here. These are teenagers, guys. So if you're thinking, if you want to stream on Twitch, they said go for it. There you have it. How about you, Big Daddy? What? As a dad, as a manager, as a mod, what can you suggest? Having a family starting this Twitch journey.
Yeah, well, I think one of the key aspects. The girls were great about it. Go for it. And as Lou was saying, we do use correct praise, which is something that the girls picked up in their martial arts. One of the things that I bring to this is from my work life. Again, I do retrospectives at my work when we're working on a project, and so.
Scrum.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm an agile practitioner. And
Yeah.
so that's how we work our streams. After our
Yeah.
streams, we do a retrospective. It's only 5 minutes, right? And we'll be
Mhm.
like, okay, what went well? What didn't go well? What are we going to try to work on next time? And it's good to have everybody round robin. So me as a person who has streamed and who has DJ'd and understand it, them as the people who just did that stream, their mom as the person who's a viewer of that stream. So you have multiple different angles looking at the same thing and saying, this is what I saw. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, this is what I heard. Oh, I didn't hear that. And not just for those ladies, but
Yeah.
for me, like the same thing has to happen. We got to shine that lens on me. And so I would recommend to anybody who is streaming or thinking about streaming that you're just honest about it. You get somebody who's going to give you a real opinion, not somebody who's just going to, blow smoke and say, oh, you're great, when, you weren't, someone who can say, okay, listen, this is the things that you need to work on for next time. And even if your stream was awesome, and the girls get mad at this all the time, because sometimes they'll have amazing streams. I'm like, okay, well, what are we going to work on next? Like, no, that was awesome. Not working on anything. Like,
Oh,
no.
that's great. It sounds like every stream that from Gray. So we actually do that, and even for this show, when
Sounds
we
like
first start
later
doing-
we're gonna
Yeah.
need to do a
we
retrospective.
we do a kind of mini retrospective with the crew, like what did we do, especially when we're going through this whole new world of talk show. When we first started, we don't know what we're doing. We just said we're gonna do it, and then here we are, 7 episodes in, and I think people are still watching. So that's great. That's great to know, and great coming from you guys. But before we go to let you guys off, we want to include you guys, if you don't mind, on our next segment. We're
We
going to
do
talk
have
about...
questions from the chat too.
Oh, okay. Before we do, what's the question?
I think we have one which I want to get back to from Achi Glip one. Do
Yep.
you, because we talked about producing songs for DJ Big Daddy, do you plan to have the girls sing some vocal tracks in a song that you will produce?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep,
so-
here.
Yes.
So
Yes, we've actually talked about that.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
So Rose is in choir at her school right now. Both of the girls play musical instruments as well. So we have discussed at length how can we incorporate some of their talents into tracks.
Redemptions.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they're ready to play on screen, but definitely would like to do some recording here at the house and add that to some of the music that we've been doing.
Right.
And the kind of music that I've been producing lately would lend that well to the girls' talents.
Oh, that's great that you guys could collaborate. I don't have talent, so I can't collaborate anything with Gray. So that's awesome that you guys have that. Like I said, we're gonna switch it up a little bit. Talk about before we let you go and do your promotion. We want to include you guys on the next segment of our show, which is Beyond the Neighborhood. So this is our segment where we actually talk about things that are outside of Twitch. So we're just gonna run the Beyond the Neighborhood track. Hold on. All right. So for our Beyond the Neighborhood, DJ Pat, what do we have this week?
So we're gonna jump from one to the other, and if we have time, we'll do a top 5 later on.
Yeah.
But there was a fascinating thing going on. You actually put this on our group chat. It's about dumpster diving at retail stores. And there's a news article on the New York Times, I think, and this has been written twice and updated. It's about people shaming these retailers by dumpster diving and checking out what's in the dumpster. And they have found, and I'll play an A roll here. And
So I'm dumpster diving at the mall, and there's a huge bag here, and it's from Vans. There's a ton of shoe boxes in here, and it's huge and super heavy. So I'm gonna take it. Okay, I'm going through the bag, and this one has a donation tag, says Born, and look at that. I opened it up, and they're actually inside. They are a little bit worn, but they are in pretty good condition. Yeah, I'm good. Just dumpster diving. Most of these.
So
So I'm dumpster diving at the mall, and there's a
let me just talk about dumpster diving, right? So dumpster diving is basically they're dumpster diving retail stores, right? So these retail stores, I saw one that they went to a Nike store where she found all this new clothing that they're just throwing on the trash. It's kind of weird, but at the same time awesome. If you can get a lot of this cool stuff. I'm not even sure if this is legal. Have you guys see this on Instagram, and what can you say about this dumpster diving? For me personally, it's just proved how bad America is on waste management. I mean, it's like there are people who are in need, and they're just throwing away this stuff for people to get instead of donating them to charity. Right?
well, basically, the companies want it to go to the landfill because they don't want anyone getting their hands on, the merch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's cool, right? So, for the girls, are you guys? What do you guys think about this? Is this something that you're against, or I know it's cool stuff to get something on the retail store, but what do you guys think about this?
So we are not on Instagram, but I know what you're talking about. I think it's really wasteful, especially when that stuff can be still out in stores and or reused. So, for example, Market Basket, if they do roasted chicken to one, prolong its expiration date, but also two, get a new product out, that is an easy, fast way to have dinner. Like, and I think that's amazing. Like, that is something that I think instead of wasting food, I think that's a great alternative. But for retail stores, unless your product is broken, stained, otherwise unredeemably wasted, I don't think that you should be throwing that out. If it's still, if there's a chance that it can still go in stores, you can still sell it and not waste that material. I think that that is what you should do. And even if you don't want to sell it, donate it. There are people that could use that item.
Right.
Well
That's-
said. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
that's
great. Yeah.
Remember, that came from a 14-year-old, so that's very well said.
Smarter than us for sure.
Yeah, so smarter than me. All right. How about you, Big Daddy? I mean, I know you have some experience on retail, right? So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, so there's two sides to that coin, right? if you have a product that is substandard, you really can't, as a retailer, sell that product
Yep.
because it cheapens your brand. You
Mhm.
also you can't really donate that product because too many of those products in the marketplace devalues that product. Now, those things being said, as a true capitalist, I look at the homeless people even here at my town,
Yeah.
and I would much rather, in fact, just the other day, our family took a bunch of the clothing that we don't use, shoes that are somewhat worn, jackets, hats, mittens, and stuff like that, and donated them to a local shelter. And I think that there are people in need, and it would be great to give somebody a new pair of Nikes that, because sneakers go based on the miles that you wear them for, right?
Right.
And so if I'm donating you my sneakers, they get 100, they get 500 miles on them, right? But if it's coming right out of that store just because, the swoosh is ripped off or something like that, this person who can't afford it is going to have a better option. I know near us, New Balance, their Boston-based company, they have a seconds store. So anything that they can't sell, they'll sell at a discounted price, and sometimes really discounted, and they do outreach as well. So I think more companies need to start thinking like that, and not solely thinking about the bottom line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, go ahead.
My theology teacher, so she's a son that goes to her school, the same school that I go to, and basically she was talking about how she can get her clothes for my school because we have a certain dress code that has our logo on it, and she can sell it to the secondhand store, and then they can sell it to maybe somebody that needs that but can't buy it at the original price. And like DJ Big Daddy saying, I think a secondhand store it's perfect for like if you for sorry to solve two needs, kill two birds with one stone.
That's awesome. I think it's just having look at this what they're finding in the trash, just a fascinating lens into America's waste economy. But I like what Big Daddy has said, that just the side of the retailer, right, about their brand, that they're trying to protect. So that's a very good insight coming from your end. So that's our first topic for Beyond the Neighbor, but we have a more light-hearted topic right now that we want you guys to pitch into. Have you guys watched the new Netflix show called Leave the World Behind?
Nope.
So DJ Pat is gonna tell you what it is, and I think it's very fascinating.
Spoiler alert, though, for the audience. If you haven't watched the movie and you don't want it to be spoiled, you can turn off your audio for the next 2 minutes. But we're gonna talk about it anyway. To the girls, sorry if we spoil it for you. It's Leave the World Behind is a pre-apocalyptic movie. It's none of those,
Zombie
tsunami,
apocalypse, or zombie.
not zombie. It's more of cyber attacks
Ooh.
and stuff like that. So it makes it even more realistic, I would say. And
Yep.
Boyji was the one who suggested we talk about this, and we watched it over the holiday with Mr. Coop's family. And it's I don't know what to say. The ratings are,
Mix.
a mix of stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's great to be able to see it and glimpse into what could happen.
Yeah, some people think about bad ending, like Boy G is bad, but I think it's more of like an interpretation, right?
Yeah.
Because one of the things that stand out there is these cyber attacks were in that Big Daddy talked about security a while ago. It's like how interesting it is that we are not all now digital, and then when this cyber attack happens, I saw another movie, I think it's Mission Impossible, wherein they're trying to protect data. and then they hired thousands of people to actually take the digital data that they have and use a typewriter to type them back in. So it's really interesting perspective of how we become more advanced, but at the same time also that threaten us to become primitive after. Right. So it's like, for me, example, AI, right? So in this movie you will see people controlling Teslas and just ramming it at each other. And that's probably why artificial intelligence or AI, there's a mix of, there's two schools
Good
of
and
it,
bad.
right? You're good
Yeah.
and bad.
Yeah.
I'm more on AI. I'm more on the practical application compared to the historical reaction, put it that way, of people and AI. So, but again, I'm on a technology side, but I think I'm more excited about the practical application of the AI comparing to what bad it can do for all of us.
Another facet of the movie is, how people prepare for doomsday. So in the movie, there's a couple of, there's a character who is a very much prepared, and there's another house in there that has a bunker with everything you need. Would you think with this movie, will the impact be real estate? When they sell houses, would they state that it has a bunker?
Have you
Could it
guys,
be possible that a bunker will really be a mainstream thing?
as Dig Dad, as being in technology, have you ever thought about these cyber attacks and what you can do to prepare for it? I know there's nobody can really prepare for it. Have you thought about it? What's your perspective there?
I think about it every day, actually.
Mm.
So
Seriously?
yeah,
Seriously?
so I
Oh,
am
wow. Okay.
I am a prepper, right? And
We didn't know that before we did it. Just
Daddy, and I'm a
FYI.
prepper.
We didn't know, but we asked the right
We
question.
asked that question, but we didn't know that. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I am, and I started my prepping journey probably when when my wife said, "Hey, guess what? We're gonna have kids," um, because as a parent, I feel that there is a level of uncertainty in the world, and I need to be able to handle situations, whatever might come. Living in the Northeast, we get hit with hurricanes all the time.
Yep.
There's power outages all the time. And, the grocery stores are shut. Think about when the pandemic hit. Everybody was scrambling for toilet paper. You guys remember that?
Oh,
It
yeah.
was like gold, okay?
Mhm.
But by the time that came around, I had stockpiles of things. And I've taught the girls lessons. Not that I'm one of those guys, we're going to run away to the woods, because I mean, everybody's going to do that, and it's going to be full with people who just don't know what the hell they're doing. But the girls are confident. I've taught them from a young age how to start a fire without a match. We've gone shooting. They know how to handle certain weapons. They took martial arts classes. They both have their black belts, so they know how to handle themselves. We read often. I have lots of manuscripts that one might need in a post-apocalyptic world, not on a computer, in physical book form, things like that. We've got stores of food, we've got water, we've got things like that. But people are amazed when I say that, but when you live in an area that's prone to hurricanes and prone to snowstorms, these are just things that everybody should have, right? I shouldn't be like a weirdo for doing that. This is just like, well, when the grocery is closed for a week, are you going to make your family starve? No.
That's amazing.
Yep. Let's.
Well,
I
you should
wanna
watch
put
this
this on-
show.
Yeah, I want to put this on the poll. Put it on the poll, boy G. Can you put this? Are you prepared for doomsday? Do you have enough toilet paper? Put that on the poll, please.
That's amazing, Big Daddy. Because I'm sorry, Luna. Go ahead.
that was me.
Seriously, okay.
But on my half, I am a sucker for theoreticals and hypotheticals. So Dad and I would talk all the time a couple years ago, I was intensely into what would happen if there was an electromagnetic shock, which is basically electromagnetic shock for hundreds of thousands of miles in diameter. And basically, all electricity goes out. No phones, no laptops, no computers, no cars if they run on electricity. Even like ones that have electric radios, yeah, your car isn't gonna work. Sorry, your house is gonna be cold or hot if you use AC. Yeah, think about all the things in your house that use electricity. You can name at least 5 if you look around your room. So what would you do immediately, first steps after that, and then the weeks to follow? What would happen to society and yourself, as
Which
well as
actually happens in the movie. So I suggest
This
you
is amazing.
watch
Yeah,
the
I mean,
movie.
I'll be honest. We didn't. This is perfect that we just pulled this out. I mean,
Yeah,
it's amazing how that you guys are prepped for
they
that.
are prepared. Yeah,
Yeah, I will
well,
whisper the Big Daddy also for pointers. I know you're gonna ask for parenting now. I'm gonna ask for something else for DJ Big Daddy.
there's a lot of questions that's gonna go his way now.
That's great.
But
So-
yeah, in the movie, there's your physical media, your DVDs, your VHS, your vinyl records. Save those, because in the
Tapes.
post-apocalyptic world, that's the only thing you have. You have no Spotify. You don't
Yeah.
have Twitch.
Yeah. Well, wait, get those tapes, whatever those medias before. You should keep them.
You gotta
Well-
get a hand crank gramophone so you can play your vinyl.
Right.
There
Right.
you go. Without electricity, there you go.
Yeah. Exactly.
even your CDs, VHS,
They won't.
records,
won't.
vinyls. Yeah, if you have to plug
Get
that
a
into something,
phonograph.
if it runs on battery, yeah, battery included, guys. By the way, not gonna work. Sorry about that. A little bit of a bummer. You can't play your ABBA record,
Play.
but
Okay.
I mean, like, you can't play that one theme song that you've been waiting that you have in your vinyl. You can't play that when you pop up. Sorry.
Actually, it depends because you have your record player that was made in 2014, which is like, oh yeah, electricity, okay. But you also, what if you have like a phonograph or a record player that's like you wind it up? That's just powered by you. So as far as I'm concerned, as long as I have a gramophone, DJ Jose, I'll be fine.
If it's physically movement powered, something that physical labor powered, that will still work.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great.
Learned a lot today.
Oh, yeah, I definitely learned a lot today. And again, coming from teenagers, right? So Big Daddy, all I can say right now, you raised the ladies very well. It's great insight, not just on their musical, background, just also from their insights in life. You did a great job, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, I know we can talk more about a lot of stuff, but we're running out of time. Before I let you go, guys, why don't you guys promote your channel and your show? I'm going to start off with the girls first.
Oh.
So
I'll do
this
it.
is DJ Luna and DJ Rose. We're the Salem Halloween Girls. We stream on Twitch. We DJ music, specifically house, but we also dip our toes into disco, some soul. Your genres are
Everything.
she's more new wave 80s.
New wave, 80s, yacht rock. We play everything under the sun. It just depends on the day. We go for at least 2 hours every time we stream, but sometimes it can go longer, and sometimes the hours completely vary. See 1 a.m. stream. But we just always have good vibes. We're there to hang out and offer our insights from a teenager's point of view of things, and just like it's really fun to mix and hang out with you guys.
So feel free to pop by, just say hi. You don't have to be super active if you don't want to, but just listen in, pop by, see what's going on.
Drop a follow.
That's great. I love it. Yeah, check them out. Salem Halloween Girls. You guys are on Sundays.
Yep.
And
Sundays for sure.
Wednesdays, right?
Sundays and Wednesdays sometimes. I don't know if we're going to be doing Wednesdays up in the near future because of school, but we will try.
We're trying our best.
There you go. Thank you, girls. How about you, Big Daddy? Promote your shows. I know you're doing Mondays.
Yeah.
That's the reason why you were able to do this, because we usually do the Guys Next Door on Mondays, but because of the new year, I'm glad it worked out.
Yes, and thank you for having me. So, yeah, as Mr. Coop says, I usually stream Monday afternoons, East Coast. So I start somewhere 5 or 6 p.m., usually go till about 10 p.m. Typically, Mondays is called Fresh. So it's fresh music that I've collected or stuff that's been sitting in my crates, and I've just never had an opportunity to play it on Twitch. A lot of it is deep jazzy house, but I do a lot of tech house, as you guys know if you've popped in.
Yep.
And
Grace loves that. You're
and
doing
stuff,
tech house
so
now.
yeah. And
DJ
then
Big Daddy
I
Stan.
started doing a Friday morning set a little while ago. Well, actually, when the girls started going back to school, I started doing a Friday morning, 5 a.m. East Coast time, so 10 a.m. UK time, and that is disco, funk and disco original from the 70s, as well as disco house and funky house. So I do that for a couple hours. And then I'm trying to do more raid trains and you pop up here and there.
Yeah, Sunday shows one. Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. You guys joining this talk show. I hope you guys have fun. Just FYI, we reached the maximum viewers of the guys next door with you guys, our guests. Right now, we hit 30 plus. So congratulations! Oh, and thank you so much for for guesting. And I hope we can get you back. They promote their show. Please follow them, guys. And I'll see you guys on the Twitch streets. Thank you.
You want to
Thank you,
Thank you,
guys.
guys.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
much. Have a good night.
Good night.
Oh, all right. Now we go to our third segment of the show called No Dumb Questions. So Gus is not here today, so I'm gonna open up this segment called No Dumb Questions. These are the questions that are not dumb. The only dumb questions are the questions that you have not asked. So if you anybody on the chat who wants to ask us questions to open up a topic, please do so, and the moderators could put it up on the screen. So our first canned question that was asked from our audience is, if your life becomes a sitcom or a movie, what would be your theme song and why?
Damn.
You want to answer that, DJ Pat, or you want me to start?
Mr. Gus should be here.
Yeah.
Answer this question. I'll
Yeah.
start because it's simple. I watched the Entourage show,
Mhm.
and that theme song or the intro song, because I'm a be with the guy kind of guy, like the guys next door.
Mhm.
That would be mine.
That's
what
awesome.
what would be yours?
I will say She's a Rainbow
Hmm.
by the Rolling Stones. I always love that song. I like how it starts and the lyrics, right? It's like a love song between me and Grace. So
Whoa.
I think it's gonna be a romantic comedy sitcom if my life is gonna be, featured.
On TV.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
about the audience? Let's see. Let's take a look at the audience. But before we do that, we have a lot of new chatters. Let's welcome them. I see DJ Rick one. Hello, sir. Welcome to the guys next door. And his answer is the Muppets theme song. Oh, wow. Okay, that's good. Actually, said Adam's Family.
Interesting.
That's interesting. Actually, are you? Do you find yourself like Morticia Adams? That's why you like that song. Who else is on the chat? Who else has an answer? We're creepy and cookie, mysterious and spooky. Who? Grace, how about you, my lady? What's your theme song?
Put it on the chat, guys.
Put it on the chat.
Or any song at all.
Any song that you guys
Yeah.
want. If you don't have any song, any other questions you might want to ask us?
Well, we also need
Yeah,
questions. Yep.
yeah,
We need
yeah.
questions
No,
today.
there's no dumb questions, guys. Just hear those
Anything about
questions.
today's episode or anything at all? Ooh, some quiet moments.
It's a quiet moment.
Oh, don't forget, at the end of the episode, we're gonna play DJ Big Daddy's new track, Steel, which was inspired by the TV show Remington Steel.
Mhm.
Just stay tuned for that. It's a deep house track. Maybe you could play it on your streams too.
Yeah, yes, reach out to Big Daddy for that. Well, there's a lot of shy people today on the chat. They don't have any questions. That's the first time. Usually, this segment, we have a lot of really fun questions.
Speaking of let's speaking of physical media that we were talking about, you brought me to a record store over the holidays.
Yep.
And I wasn't looking for vinyl records. I wasn't looking for CDs. I was looking for cassette tapes. That is the most rare form of media right now. It's so hard to find stuff. I mean,
So, speaking of that, now I have a question. So, what is your favorite cassette tape album when
there
you
you
were
go.
growing up? I
And
have one.
it can be your own mixtape. Just specify what's the songs in there in your mixtape or a specific album.
Speaking of mixtape, so just FYI, Grace used to make me mixtapes. So she's the one that actually collects all the
Fun
songs, and
fact.
so it's a fun fact. You can play it on my car.
I
But my
never
favorite cassette tape record, aside from what Grace music gives me, is I have a complete album of Motley Crue. I'm a big fan of Motley Crue, so I have all their albums and cassette tapes. That's FYI.
you should have kept those. That's
I
exactly
know.
what I was looking for when you took me to the record store. And all what I saw was you know, who's that? Yeah, Bolton.
Yeah,
All the
Michael
tapes.
Bolton. Yeah,
I was looking for heavy metal stuff and they're gone. All
yeah,
the Gen Z people have bought the cassette tapes
yeah.
of
I'm a
that
big,
generation.
I'm a big, heavy metal guy back in grade school and high school. So I
Yeah,
got
same.
Motley Crue. I got a lot of Poison, the old GNRs, Slayer. I think I'm hoping that my mom did not throw it. It's still our
You,
old
you
house
know,
back in the Philippines.
it's fascinating when DJ Big Daddy was talking about he was on the rock side and he
Yes.
also dabbled into the 90s house and the disco stuff. Like I remember myself. Like I had my guys from school who are into heavy metal, and then I go home to my neighborhood who are DJs, they're into dance music. It's fascinating. But we got questions. We
Yeah,
got
I think before you answer the question, I think DJ Pat with Big Daddy, I think we're gonna all get along and hang out.
we
That'll
need
be fun.
we
How
need a private conversation
do you
and
do
get
you
pick his brain.
question? DJ Pat, do you have long hair back then? How long was
Yes.
your hair? Ah, interesting.
Well, past the shoulder,
That's
but
long.
then I cut under, which drove Mackie D crazy. But
I
we had long hair.
yeah, and
Yeah, it was
uh,
illegal in school, but I was able to pull it off
wait, why is it illegal to have a long hair in school?
because our high school has standards. They will cut it for you. The teachers will have physical scissors and cut it, and I was able to hide
Damn.
it or comb it. Yes, private Catholic school for boys, they do that. They do that shit
Oh,
all the time.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. So you are in a private Catholic old
but
boys, right?
I was able to avoid all these, Well, let's get to the question. Anyone have any 8 tracks from Same Old Beats? Same Old Beats, welcome back. Thanks for being on the stream last week. 8 tracks, dude. I don't know what those are.
I got 8 tracks. The reason why we had 8 tracks back in the Philippines, it's not mine, but it's my uncle. Back in the Philippines, 8 tracks are huge. When you have a jeepney, the passenger
Yes,
jeep,
they
passenger
use
jeep.
it
Yeah, they
That's their
used it.
hi-fi
Yeah,
when you
that's their
ride the Jeep.
hi-fi. Yeah. So once they sold the Jeep, they kept the player. So that was the player.
Pioneers.
Yeah,
Yes.
that we had in our old house. So I can't remember what the albums are, but I remember those growing up.
I want to get to this question from Virgil. Uh, what would each of you like to do more in 2024? Ah,
All
I
right, go ahead.
I came from dinner with my wife, lovely wife Mackie, and we talked about goals. And if you have something in mind, go ahead. I'd like to gather my thoughts about this.
Uh, for me as uh on Twitch, I guess Grace and I talk about this. At least for her channel, we want to stream more. It's really hard, with everything opening up, but we want to put more. I know she wants to put more hours, just finding out what that balance is. For me, I think being
Outside
more
Twitch.
healthy. Yeah, outside it,
Mm.
being more healthy. I've been really bad last year. I used to run a lot. And Grace wants me to go back to that because I love working out, but I hate lifting weights. I can run for miles and miles, but for some reason I don't know why I can't. I don't want to lift weights, so I'm probably gonna do more of bike and running this year.
That's great. I mean, we played a session of hoops. I think that's
Yes.
still enjoyable, as long as it's light, a lower level of hooping where you don't really get injured. So I'm glad you're able to realize that, because I am too. When I got home, I started taking out the sugar. But for me,
Yeah.
we just spoke about this over dinner that in 2024 we're gonna, over here in our community, we're gonna launch a semi-professional soccer team, and I'm part of the marketing and branding. So that's one of the goals for 2024. And then on the Twitch side, I just want this show to be able to to get to a certain level, I guess. That
Yes. Yeah.
you know,
More TJ and more great guests. I do want to have to say it on this show though. One of NBHD goals this year is to hopefully get the NBHD meetup.
oh
We'll start.
yes,
DJ Pat and I talk about. We're
yeah,
gonna start planning it. Even if it's small, just to kick it off. Another
yeah,
thing also is extending the NBHD community to other Twitch formats like the singers.
formats. Yeah,
Yeah. Uh, Maybe Boji will do the gamers, but we're gonna do. We met a few singers, especially in the Philippines. Filipinos love to sing, and we can do some start a one raid train so that we can, between the DJ community and the singer community, we can collaborate and expand NBHD, hoping that we can get that early this year.
stay
So
tuned
that's
for
what I'm
that.
doing.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got a question from DJ Big Daddy, which I think it's worth to try to answer, regarding Twitch growth. How important is it to have multiple mods, and how do you grow your
Oh,
mod family? I think we've talked about this a little bit, but
yep.
this is more specific and this is more in your alley. So I'll let
Yep.
you.
Very great question. Like what DJ Pat said, past episodes where we had a mod as a guest, we talk about how important the mods are, how you uh actually it started when, how do you rotate mods or how do you um take out mods, right? But I think it is important to have multiple mods because at least on Grace's channel or a lot of people channel, mods is really not, we're not requiring them to be on the sh- the channel every time. It's by capacity. That's why having multiple mods allows you to um, kind of cover when you're streaming, and also uh, have mods that modding for other channel to do some sort of like collaboration and help grow each other's channel. uh, how do you grow a mod family? I think it starts with the relationship, having the right people in it, and having, I think the most important thing is trust, right? Whether they're in it all the time or they're they're not frequent, you know that they're there for you no matter what. They will support you on those big streams if you ask them to go, and they will help you grow your channel by inviting other people that they know or just really promoting. I mean, I hope I did justice on that, but for me, that's how I think it is.
There's a lot of facets into that, into modding. It's not as simple as picking people. There's a lot to it that I've observed from what you guys have been doing. I mean, I remember a week and a half ago, when I knew that DJ Grace was gonna get a massive rating.
Yep. You
And
always, yeah.
we talked about this, and we had to prepare. And I've always been a mod on that channel, and I knew that at that instance that I have to help.
Yep.
So I did, So I guess you're right. Everything you said about it's
Yeah, it's about
levels of
trust.
who can make it
Yeah.
that day and help out, I guess.
Right. Not only on Twitch also, but also help the community even when you're not streaming, right? These mods are important in that sense also, whether they're gonna bring you to, let's say, a raid train that they know of, or
Oh
just
yeah.
or just saying, I'm modding for somebody, and then I see this other mod family, a family they have that I'm modding. Let's go give them a raid because we want to support each other. I think that's key for that, and make it fun for the mod. I think that's a big factor to growing it, right? If it's becomes a job and it's just they're not having fun, then you're not gonna really grow the
The
channel,
lifeblood of the streaming community are the mod, really.
right?
We got some
And
interesting stuff on the chat. Just read along. We're running out of time. Ooh.
well, we went overtime again, and that's really what happened. We initially said this show is only going to be 90 minutes, but it's been really fun with a lot of these guests, right? We can talk for hours. Just there's a lot of even questions I didn't even ask yet, but just because of the diversity of the NBHD, the neighbors community, we can talk different topics every week with different facets about Twitch. Like this show today really exposes how a family can go or venture on this journey together, which is very refreshing and actually amazing to see these family really getting to bonding together, just like having us just having like hanging out, right? They're just not hanging out at home, but they're hanging out on the Twitch world. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. It's been a fun night again. Hope you keep supporting the guys next door. We'll be back next week, Monday, our regular schedule, because the holidays are done. DJ Pat, you can add to that. Thank you so much, everybody.
No, I'm glad to see everyone on the chat, and I hope to see you all next week. I hope Gus is able to come back. We miss him. And this is the said track from DJ Big Daddy. Feel. Enjoy the
awesome
track, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thank you guys. And again, this is the guys next door where talk is cheap and the labs are priceless. Thank you so much. See you next week. Enjoy Big Daddy.
Good night.
It was one of those nights I was feeling kind of lethargic. I knew I shouldn't have went to that place at all, but whatever was in my mind, my body pushed those thoughts aside because it just wanted to dance. It just wanted to fly. was a funk decision. I even had funky premonitions of me floating around the room.